What's going on, you guys? Christian here from Klaudless and Indy, and this episode is going to be a Halloween special, which is why I'm wearing the hat today. As of recording this, it is October 30th, 2023. Tomorrow's Halloween, and I'm going to try to get this video out by end of today, so it'll be posted tomorrow on the 31st. But because this is a Halloween special, this is going to be, I guess, kind of like a two-parter video. So I'm gonna talk about myself and some of my Halloween stuff that I have, as well as, you guessed it, doing another beer review. Okay, so what's the beer that I'm covering though? Show ya. Covering the Raspberry Hazelnut Dead Forever dessert style Imperial Stout with raspberries and hazelnuts by, I believe, what is it, Foreign Local? Yep, Foreign Local in Hammond, Indiana. All right, and I've been wanting to review this beer for quite some time, almost a whole year. I've been waiting to review this beer, but I've been waiting for the special occasion, and you know what? Today is that special occasion. Now, because this is going to be a longer video, similar to my Oktoberfest video, I'm going to be putting in chapters. So if you do not care about my Halloween stuff at all, or me talking about it, you can go to this timestamp right here, and I'll take you straight to the beer review. But if you're actually interested in learning a little bit more about me and, you know, why Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, if not my favorite holiday, then continue to watch on. With that being said, it's 43 degrees out here, and it's another beautiful day in Indy. So let's go ahead and roll that intro, and I'll meet you guys inside. All right, you guys, so we are officially inside, and so let's just get this story started. Just a little bit about myself, I guess, and, you know, why I love Halloween so much. But I guess just to summarize everything up, you know, despite growing up in the church, like most people I know, I did go trick-or-treating. I actually dressed up as Wolverine. Believe it or not, I really loved the X-Men growing up. And I actually used to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch. No, I did not watch Hocus Pocus. I actually didn't watch that until, I think, last year. I think is when I first saw Hocus Pocus, or other stuff. But how did I get into the Halloween stuff? So let's fast forward, right? So while I've always been intrigued by the ghosts and the ghouls and the witches, I would say that it wasn't until the first time I went to a goth club when I was, I want to say 18, 19 maybe, that I really went down the rabbit hole. Although I guess I don't really consider myself gothic. I don't, you know, dress in all black all the time. I really don't have the look. But I do, how do you say? But I did have many friends who were gothic. And so I don't remember exactly when I had met this particular person. I want to say it was like in a music store, because like when I was younger, I used to go to this place called FYE, For Your Entertainment. For those of you who know or know about that store, I used to go there to the mall about once a month, and I didn't know how to like torrent music or anything like that. So, you know, I was actually buying CDs, right? And I was just, you know, listening to CDs, and then if I like some of the songs, you know, then I would just go ahead and buy the CD. And this is back when I was like listening, I think I was like buying like EDM, drum and bass, like hard style. CDs. And so I think one day I was at the counter just chatting up with one of the clerks, and I had met this this girl and her mom, and they're like full goth all the time, 24/7. Had the attire, had the look, had the I don't know what you call it, but we started chatting it up, and before you know it, we're hanging out. We're going to the golf club. If you guys have heard of the Castle in Tampa, Florida, I'll post a picture of it here somewhere. That's where we used to go. And I would say that the goth scene in Florida is fairly big, I would think. But I didn't really get too much deeper into that. I mean, I wasn't really that social of a person, especially since I personally didn't, at least at the time, didn't know that many people who were into the scene. So, long story short, I start, I guess because I'm getting into the scene, I start, building my outfit to go to the goth club. And of course, I'm just summarizing all of this. I'm not getting like way too deep, especially since I honestly don't remember everything. But eventually, I ended up, I think by 2018, I ended up coming up with this outfit here, which for my Indiana viewers, and for even if I have any viewers who are in Florida, you've probably seen this guy right here. And there have been different variations of this outfit, but this is the final one. And because before I used to just go by Dukov, that was the character I guess I had created. Now I don't think I have a name for the current character. But the face paint was actually inspired by black metal, because I think I would say 2017, 2018, 19. I would say maybe somewhere between 18 and 19, I got into black metal. Now, of course, I've been into metal since like middle school, but I think I don't actually know when I got into black metal, but I think sometime around that year I decided, you know what, I want to try to do that face paint for Halloween that year. And so that's when I debuted that look, and I've continued that look every Halloween thereafter, except unfortunately for this year. I still wear the outfit, but I didn't paint my face. So I was a little kind of sad about that, but it is what it is. I mean, my character is still my character. That's, my look, and, but yeah. So, of course, I think I also have some like occult books. I have a bunch of occult ebooks, and I mean, that stuff just really does intrigue me. It's very fascinating in general. And I do enjoy horror movies. That's actually my favorite genre of movies is horror. Specifically, actually two. I would say I like them both equally. It would be occult horror and psychological horror. So, oh my god, I want to say for like occult, I would say a great movie example, and if I get the title wrong, would be A Dark Song. And if that's the name of it, then I won't post anything. But if that's not the name, then I'll post the actual title here, as well as a picture. By the way, my daughter is right below me. She's chilling, because if I'm not working, my daughter's most likely with me. And for psychological horror, which I guess this movie kind of could be considered both psychological and occult, but it would be Hereditary. A lot of people don't like Hereditary, but I absolutely love slow burn movies, and just movies that make you think, just in general. But yeah, don't ask me, oh man, did you see like the new Nun movie, the Conjuring series? I'm like, bro, how dare you even mention that movie to me? Like, did you see that movie? And the answer is, I did not see the second one. I saw the first one, and I was very disappointed. How do you say? A lot of great potential. I think just the Conjuring series, that whole universe is pretty cool in general. But my least hands down my least favorite type of horror is what I classify as haunted house horror movies, or movies that the story just sucks, but it's not about the story, right? It's about how scared can we get the audience, you know, that jump scare. It's similar to, I can't remember the name of the movie, but I'll post it here, but it's something Encounters, I think that's what it is, where it was, how do you say, like the whole movie is basically, what is it, I guess, not candid, I don't think candid is the word, but it's where like there's cameras all over the house, and, you know, they're filming these, these, God, I just can't think of the word right now, but like I said, if I think of it, I'll post it here, but yeah, I mean, very interesting, but not really my style. You know, I do care about the story, don't care about the jump scares, okay? Because you know the saying, reality is that it? Reality is stranger than fiction, right? You heard the saying, you just can't make this shit up. You know? But yeah, so with that out of the way, just that tidbit about myself. I've got like a few shirts that I think I got them like last year. You know, feel free to shoot me some pics on Facebook or my Instagram, which are going to be of the same name, of what's your Halloween outfit this year, or what are some of your ghoulish or, you know, gothic outfits. Yeah, let me go get those shirts, and let me show you. I think they're pretty cool. Alrighty, so first up, we have this shirt here. I actually got this shirt, and actually all three of these shirts are from Hot Topic. I mean, I find the clothes very affordable, which is kind of ironic because that jacket that I have, the straight jacket, that was not actually affordable. That was quite a pricey purchase. But hey, it's lasted me for years. But this shirt is actually a great summer shirt. Yeah, I really like this shirt. You know, it's got skeletons, you know, some cult stuff on there. I think it's very cool. I wore it to work the other day, but just the vibe I was getting from people, because I think I wore it on Friday the 13th. Just a vibe that I was getting from people. I don't think they were I don't think they were about it at all. So you got that thing from the Ouija boards. I got some skulls. Yeah, very interesting shirt. Next one up is this shirt here. Look at that. You've got what looks like an Illuminati book or something like that, or what is it? The Cult of the Golden Dawn, I think it is. Got some snakes, daggers, skulls, more Ouija stuff. Fun fact, the first time I ever played Ouija, well, actually I didn't play it, or did I? No, yeah, I did play it. The first time I actually ever played Ouija was, I want to say, like, it was either like 6th or 7th grade. Wasn't really a fan of it at all. And guess what? As an adult, in my 30s, I am still not a fan. Last but not least, this is my Halloween Nightmare Before Christmas shirt with Lock, Shock, and Barrel. I'm thinking of Lock, Stock, and Barrel. Great movie, by the way. Which I think I have both the movies. God, I can't remember. Wow, my memory is just absolute trash today. But I have both those movies, if you guys remember what I'm talking about. Great movies, by the way. But yeah, I have this shirt here. And I've got them right here, the figurines. And that Mary guy. Look at that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my little it's my little stuff there. Also, let me show you my my book. I also have this witchcraft book by the Library of Esoterica. I believe this is actually a three, one in a set of three. Not cheap though, at least for me. So make sure you donate to the channel so I can spend more money on books and wine and obviously beer. It's actually pretty cool. I can't show you the back of it because there is nudity, and I don't think that's going to be YouTube friendly. So I think that's pretty much it. But also about the hat, if anyone's wondering about this hat, because everyone's always like, "Oh man, you know, what's the deal with the hat? You know, what are you supposed to be? You know." And I actually had someone ask me earlier. I think it was like yesterday, if I was like a furry or a brony or something like that. And I'm like, no, I'm not into any of that stuff. Fun fact, I actually found this hat one day when I was shopping at Walmart. This was, I think, yeah, it was 18. So this was before I was like really into the goth stuff. I had just bought this hat because I liked it. I mean, and once upon a time, I was, I guess, what they call a weeaboo. I don't know if that definition has changed, but when I was in school, that just meant someone who was, I guess, a Japanophile, you know, someone who's into the anime and the Hello Kitty and all that stuff. And to me, this looked really cute, and I just wanted to wear it. But just because of the look and how furry it was, I decided to actually adopt it, and it became, of course, the first piece of my outfit when I created the character Dukov. Who, of course, I performed musically as, and I guess continues to still be a character, even though I don't really use that name anymore. But I think that's pretty much it for, you know, me. I think that's pretty much it. As for me, I mean, I could of course make another video, I guess, going more in depth, but that's not what this video is about. It's just a little bit about me, just so you can get to know a little bit about me more, you know, and yeah, but let's just get on to the beer. You know, I'm thirsty, and I'm pretty sure that's what you guys are most likely here for. So, yeah, let's just get into it. All right, so we are at the computer now. I may put in a splice somewhere. If I did, then I guess I did. I don't know if I'll cut this part, but because I talked about the music and because this is a Halloween special, the background music, which is usually my own music, which you can check out just typing in Klaudless, topic, you know, and you'll be able to find my music, even though you can find it on just about every streaming platform, including Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, etc. So that'll be my industrial EBM, pretty much my gothic stuff for this particular special. If that interests you, of course, I'll put it all down in the description. So, and also, my baby is here, as I mentioned before. So if you hear her, then you know, you're like, is that a baby? It's like, yeah, there's the baby here. So let's get into the beer. So, Dead Forever, the Raspberry Hazelnut. Look at that cat. You know, dessert style Imperial Stout with hazelnuts, with raspberries and hazelnuts, coming in at 11% per pint. This is a pint can, and I do like just the simplicity of this can. It's pretty much white, predominantly white, black outline, and of course the almost maroon colors, or a wine red colors there. Look at that. Just a very simplistic can. Has it right there. Brewed and packaged at Foreign Local LLC, Hammond, Indiana. And we're going to pull up the map in just a moment. Yeah, there's nothing much on the can. Like I said, it's just a very, very simple can. Very simple can. And also, I did recently just pull this out of the fridge, so it should be cold by the time we get to the tasting. Now, as I said in the intro, if all you care about is the tasting, you can go to that timestamp right there above, or the chapter should be below this video, as well as in the description, so you can skip right to there if you don't care about this part, as I've said before. So, let's switch over to the internet. Bam. You can see here, this is where Foreign Local is. So that's going to be Lake County, Indiana. I was actually here. I want to say I've done a video of me being up here, but I don't think I have actually. There's a lot of videos I haven't done yet. But as you can see here, Foreign Local Brewery and Tap Room. And if you didn't already notice, it's actually right up the road from 18th Street. And yeah, I actually have shown this map before. Perfect. Uh-oh. Nope, we don't care about the Hammond Police Department. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been there. Or know someone who's been there. Yeah, local brewery and tap room. Oh, and fun fact, which is actually kind of surprising, the amount of breweries/distilleries just in this county alone. Because if we just go down here, oh, there's Munster. And what do we know that's in Munster? Three Floyds. Boom. But we're not talking about Three Floyds today. We are talking about Foreign Local. So let's bring our stick guy here and see if we can get some... Oh, look at that. Literally dropped us right in front of the brewery/tap room. Wow. And to think, I was literally just in this area not too long ago. So I definitely want to pay a visit here. Let's see if maybe we can drive around here. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh man, you know, Google Maps and these Google cars, you know, privacy and all that stuff. But even though, like, this one right here is an actual up-to-date picture. As you can see here, the image capture. Is my mouse showing? Oh, it looks like my I'm blocking the mouse. Hold on, let me see if I can move myself. See if I can move myself. Perfect. Okay. Uh-oh. But if you see down here, it was captured in June of 2003, so this was very recent as opposed to the very last video that I did with Bare Hands Brewery, where the last capture was in 2019. So if you guys plan on moving, or not moving, but visiting Bare Hands Brewing, visiting Foreign Local Brewery and tap room anytime soon, you can probably be assured that it's most likely going to look like this. But yeah, very, very interesting. Okay. So now we're going to head over to Untapped. Now, so just based on just Google searching, I could not find anything about the beer. And sure, maybe I waited too long to review this beer from when I bought it, because this was the only, I think one of the few at least, and we'll get to that eventually. But here on Untapped, this was the only description I can find, because there is another, a blueberry hazelnut stout Dead Forever. So I guess they changed that. Maybe, I don't know. If you have any more information about, you know, the Raspberry Hazelnut, you know, let me know down in the comments or on my Facebook or Instagram. But it doesn't seem to be continued. So let's go into the description here, since they didn't tell us on the can. Besides it being a dessert style imperial stout. Okay, so dessert in a glass, decadence, melted Godiva ice cream, rich espresso, baker's cacao, hazelnut and mocha give way to a luscious mouthfeel. Chocolate-covered raspberries tempt the senses into an ultra-thick, mead-like dessert beer experience. This dessert-style imperial stout was brewed with hazelnuts and raspberries. And of course, we have here the 11% ABV, but no info on the IBUs. And as it said in the description, it is a stout, it is an imperial stout, and a double. And if we're going anything by, I don't actually know, and of course, I'll learn this further in my beer studies. But at least from what I found, we have the chart for, for instance, pale ales, right? So pale ales are going to be anywhere from 5% to 7%, or depending on your source, 7.5%. After 7.5%, it becomes a double or an imperial IPA. And then after 10%, it becomes a triple IPA. Okay, and that's just based on the charts that I found. I don't know if I guess I could just literally go to the BJCP website and find out. But yeah, if I do decide to do that, then I'll just post it somewhere here. I'll post it somewhere. So yep, let's go to Beer Advocate, because you already know that in my videos I do like to go to Untapped, because sometimes they provide more information than the brewers themselves, which, great website. From what I've heard, there are other websites that are better for rating beers, but as far as the information that I'm presenting, Untapped and Beer Advocate seem to be the go-to sites until I find something better. If you think that there's a better site that provides more information, more in-depth information that would actually be useful in my videos, be sure to either put it down in the comments or message it to me on one of my social media pages. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Now that we've reached here, excuse me, I couldn't find the Raspberry Hazelnut Dead Forever and Beer Advocate, and now that I think about it, I should probably make an account in here, because when I try to search it, this is what it tells me to do. Like most forums that I've got, I go into it, it's like, hey bro, you gotta make an account, okay? And their description is most likely not what this is going to be, since it's blueberry and not raspberry. I found another site. Well, I guess this is the website. Now, one thing that I used to do, and I think that I stopped doing for a minute, is, which I did do on my previous videos, my two previous videos, the Oktoberfest and Drain the Swamp Double IPA, is I would go to, say, the beer on tap and just go down the list here. Funny thing, though, like the can, the website is also pretty simple. And we found down here the Blueberry Breakfast Dead Forever. Is that the same one? Yep, that's the same one. But that, unfortunately, is not the beer that we're covering today. So, of course, go to Beer to Go. And pretty cool cans. But unfortunately, they do not have the beer that we're looking for. Let me just go home real fast. And I want to say normally, well, I not necessarily normally, but I know a lot of breweries have a saying, and I could have swore that this website had I guess kind of like a slogan, but I think this is it right here. Cult Foreign Local Northwest Indiana is a music and art driven brewery and taproom that creates astral craft beers and occult beverages in the historic downtown area of Hammond. Very interesting. And then I told you before in my last video, that if in my researching for a beer, if it showed me the calories, I would tell you guys. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because I've had enough people at work ask me, how many calories does this beer have? As if that's normal information. I don't know. I mean, if it's normal information for you guys, if that's something that, if you work at a brewery or know many breweries that have that information, I mean, maybe in Colorado and California, maybe. I mean, this is the only two places I can think of that would actually do that, you know, or tell you whether their beer was gluten-free or not. You know, let me know down in the comments. But this beer here is 320 calories. There you go. And that's about it. So now that that's over, especially since I don't provide any information about what's actually in the beer other than what we have on Untapped. Okay, and we don't even know if that's from the brewery. But we don't have any hop information or even malt information. All we know is that this is a dessert stout, imperial stout that was brewed with hazelnut and raspberries. Could it be considered a fruit and field beer? On Untapped, no, they just considered it an American stout. But that's, of course, this particular beer. Most likely, that's what they're going to consider it, just an American stout. Although it may possibly fit in that category, since they're literally putting fruit and nuts in the beer. So I don't know if it's actually literally. Don't quote me on that. Here I am making a video, literally. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this beer open. As per usual, I will be using my wine glass. As I said before, this is, after measurement, 14 ounces, similar to my St. Joseph Brewery, goblet glass or snifter glass. But until I can get a new glass, I'll be using my wine glass. I actually went to World Market in Carmel, if anyone knows where that is, and I saw some really nice glasses where, it kind of like goes up, like out, and then kind of like goes back in. But they were like $15.99. A little pricey for me. I mean, I don't know if it may be worth it, but I definitely want to get a glass like that in the future. So yeah. But without further ado, let's get into this beer. But before we open it, let's do a temperature test with my trusty Klein Tools Volt Tester. Because if you've been watching my videos, I used to be an electrician, an apprentice electrician. So right now we're drinking at 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, normally I don't necessarily care for my beers to be that cold, and I have no problem drinking a beer between 65 degrees. But because this is a darker beer, and I'm assuming it's going to be medium to full-bodied, we do want it to be a little colder, just in my experience. The lighter the beer, the warmer it can be, but the fuller the beer, the colder you want it to be. Let's get into it. Oh, wow, look at that. Woo, that is strong. And it is filled all the way to the brim. Filled all the way to the brim. Let me see if I can get this pour here. Okay. Oh, wow. Very dark. Almost like chocolate. Look at that head. Just a very brown head. Not a lot of head formation there. Not a lot of head formation at all. If you can see there. It almost, like, I would almost think that this was like maybe like a coffee beer or something like that. That's just like a coffee stout. But yeah, I mean, I want to say there's almost like an orangish hue to it, like the head there. Wish I had a light. Let me see if I can shine a light through this beer. And as I said, I expected this beer to be almost full-bodied, or medium to full-bodied. But this is very obscure. You can't see through it at all. It is completely black. So I want to shine a light, see if any light will shine through it. Sorry, you guys. And the answer is no. Can't see anything. I may have put a little bit too much in the glass. But yeah, that's, very interesting. Now, before I actually get into the tasting here, the nose isn't very strong. I'm only maybe 6-7 inches from the glass. I can't smell anything. Let's just get into the glass. Oh, wow. Okay, so while the smell isn't strong enough for me to smell it 6-7 inches away from my face, once I put my nose in the glass, very strong. Oh, and that actually reminds me of what I was going to say. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, and I hope that I'm not bringing any bias into this tasting, but I'm not a fan of barrel-aged beers. Or rather, there are very few that I can actually drink that don't make my stomach hurt after a while. And I am a little worried about this one. Even though it's a dessert-style beer, I am a little worried. But it does smell very good. And you can definitely smell the raspberries. Or at least a sweet berry. Maybe like a blackberry. The hazelnut, I'm not sure. I mean, there's just a lot just going on in this nose. It's definitely a bouquet. But someone more experienced may be able to pick out all the different smells. But for me, it just smells very, very sweet. Almost reminds me of sorbet a little bit, but not as fresh. All right, let's get into it. Oh, wow. Woo! Wow. Hello. Wow. Oh, that is strong. That is strong. Oh my, I don't know if it's the 11%, but that is strong. And that is definitely medium bodied as I anticipated, as I thought it would be. And just with my experience, like for instance, Sun King has a new beer out called the Soul Shakedown, which is a barrel-aged wee heavy, a rum barrel-aged to be specific, wee heavy. And that one is very good, and this almost reminds me of that. It's not, at least to me, it's not too offensive. And what I mean by that is for someone who doesn't care for barrel-aged beers, this is approachable for me. I can drink this. But I would have to say, as I said with this whole shakedown, is that with this particular beer, if I drink it by itself, I'm definitely looking for a stomach ache, or some high blood sugar. Because this is pretty sweet. Okay, so I would most certainly have to have this with a meal, whether it's with I don't know. Some might even suggest chocolate. Well, I think with wine, they usually say that the dish should be. The dish should be sweeter than the wine. The wine shouldn't overpower the dish. It should complement the dish and vice versa. But I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Although you could probably have this. I mean, you could probably have this with a, what? I don't want to say a steak, maybe. I mean, you probably could, depending on how you season it or what sauce you decide to put on it. The other day, for our anniversary, me and my wife, we, not our marriage anniversary, but just of our time being together, we decided to go to Amore in Geist. And that's what I think 75th Street. It's where the Kroger is. There's Sunday's ice cream. So if you know where those places are, then you'll be able to find Amore. Also, highly, highly recommend. Definitely exceeded my expectations. But I got, I guess, what was called a chicken masala. Hold on. Let me see if I can find what a masala is. Okay, so I couldn't find a picture of it, or at least a picture that looked like anything that I actually ordered. Okay. Well, and that's probably because it's called a not a masala, but a marsala. Yeah, a chicken marsala with an R. I kept getting pictures of like an Indian dish, but this one was thinly pounded chicken, dredged, then sautéed and bathed in our special marsala wine sauce with shallots and wild mushroom blend. Now, this was very good, but unfortunately, the wine that we ordered with it, they just did not pair well. But I think that this beer may actually pair with that. That may be a better pairing. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely smell the raspberries, or at least blackberries, some sort of dark berry right off the nose. But there's a lot of flavor going on. There's just a lot going on just on the palate, but it's a smooth, very smooth finish. Hold on. Wow. Just, like I said, a very smooth finish. Not a bad finish at all, and at least to me, it tastes exactly as it smells. Just very sweet. A little bit of savory, which is why I talked about possibly having this with a steak or chicken. Or I want to say just a savory dish in general. I think this beer would pair with. But I want to say I could probably make some kind of some kind of joke that it is Halloween, and with this Dead Forever, death. It's sweet death. It's savory. It's mysterious. And yeah, this is definitely dark, mysterious, at least to me. Very sweet, very savory, but I don't know if it's because of its body or because of the ABV. It's a very strong beer for myself. But if you like these kind of beers, which I know many people who do, then I would definitely recommend this beer for you. Especially, for instance, at Sun King, there's this new beer called the Scout Badge, which there are 3 different varieties of, right? So we have, or I keep saying or we, but at Sun King, they have the regular Scout Badge porter, which is chocolate and coconut. Then they have it on nitro, right? And then they have a chocolate whiskey barrel aged one, right? And that one a lot of people like. But as I said, not really a fan of barrel aged beers. There are some that I do enjoy, but just in my own past experience, if I do have one, it's probably going to be one, or I have to have it with a meal. I just can't, drink it by itself. Another thing that I didn't mention is that obviously no carbonation, at least that I could feel. Just very still in the mouth. I would say there's also a little bit of that I didn't notice before, but also a little bit of maybe acidity there. Yeah, I want to say a little bit of acidity, which I guess on the palate would be considered sour. Just a little bit of sourness. Almost reminds me of like lactose or I guess what I would taste in some coffee beers that have lactose in it. Not all coffee beers that use lactose have that taste. But that's I guess kind of what I'm tasting there. And I don't know if just here reading in the description, if that's maybe what we're getting, maybe from the melted Godiva ice cream, the rich espresso. So just from those two things alone, I mean, yeah, there may be a chance that there's probably lactose in this beer. But yeah, and you know the funny thing is that if this wasn't a beer I actually do enjoy, which this beer is probably close to, a dark chocolate, like a very rich dark chocolate with raspberry, and that I would absolutely love. And this beer, believe it or not, would probably go good with that, actually, now that I think about it. Unfortunately, I don't think I have chocolate. Sure, I have like Hershey's chocolate, but I don't think I have any raspberry chocolate. But if you guys have stuck around with me for this long, I'm gonna actually go get some chocolate. Okay, so I went downstairs and I was able to find some chocolate. As I said, I do have some Hershey's chocolate. Okay, milk chocolate, which I originally bought to make s'mores. Let's make some s'mores together, or let's make s'more time together. And then I have this Mercer Roth, which I got from Aldi, which is 70% cacao, dark 70% cacao. Now, I absolutely love dark chocolate. And I'm not going to lie to you, even that small amount that I poured in the glasses is actually starting to hit me. It's starting to hit me right now. It also probably doesn't help that I literally got up really fast and then ran down the stairs. And then ran right back up here. But we're gonna try this chocolate in and see how it actually pairs to see if my assessment is correct. So. Well, for me, definitely not with the Hershey's. The Hershey's does not work. It's a no-go. Now let's try the Mercer Roth from Aldi. See how that works. Wow. That was probably too big of a piece. It might take me a minute. Yeah, so surprisingly, the 70% cacao actually paired a lot better than the Hershey's chocolate. I do feel like that the chocolate just kind of cut through that acidity a little bit. But yeah, you know what? Honestly, I think I'm kind of done with this beer. It's like I said, it's a little rich for me, and I may need something just to cut through that flavor, and I don't know if I have anything right now to do that. But with that being said, if you've been watching this long, I really appreciate you. And if you were, if you like this beer, if you like my review, this tasting of this beer, be sure to, like, subscribe, share if you like, or just let me know in the comments, that you enjoyed the video. Or if you had this beer in your fridge, let me know. But with that being said, this is Christian from Klaudless and Indy reviewing the Raspberry Hazelnut Dead Forever dessert style Imperial Stout made with raspberries and hazelnut from Foreign Local Brewery in Hammond, Indiana. Excuse me. Yeah. So, if you're still here, would you so kindly raise your glass for a cheers, slancha, na zdrowia, salud, and prost, and happy Halloween, everyone. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.